Hello, everybody. Hi. Good afternoon. Welcome to In Between Appointments. We are literally, figuratively, everything in between appointments here. So we've just got chance for about half an hour to, as always, every Friday we have a brilliant guest with us to learn a little bit more about the wedding industry and to give you guys who are going to be watching this, whether you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, some top tips. How to, you might be in the stages of wedding planning. You might have found your dress, you might have found your venue. We don't know, but we can give you a few tips along the way. We try and give you as much content as we can on this channel and from this studio. Today, we have a brilliant guest, genuinely brilliant guest who I've been following on social media for a little bit of time since we've had the studio open. We've got Beckie Melvin from Emerald Orchard Weddings. Beckie, good afternoon.
Hello.
All right. Beckie, the first question I ask all of our guests is, where are you and what can you see right now?
All right. So I'm in Sandy Beds, and I'm in my little office, which is in the garden. And out of my window, out of here, I can see a composter. Not very exciting. But out here, I can see the sunlight, the sunbeams coming down on my little garden that I finished last weekend.
I love that. Right, great. So we know where you are. So what we need to do is we need to strip it right back. We're going to need to go as far back as you can. We're going to talk about a little bit about what you do now, but how have you got to this position? Why are you who you are and what do you do?
Wow, that is, honestly, my story. I feel like a little bit bad every time I talk about it because it kind of slates a couple of really close family members, but it is what formed the business as it is. Okay. So I'm a wedding planner and I've been a planner for over a decade now. So 2010 is when I got qualified and I've done hundreds of weddings at this point. And what made me want to start to be a wedding planner is the fact that when I was planning my wedding, so I got married 16 years ago now, and I was planning my wedding back in the early 2000s. I had a lot of ideas about what I wanted to do, how I wanted it to look, what I wanted to wear. And every time I voiced one of these ideas to close family and friends, because, everybody wants to ask, how's the planning going? What are you going to wear? Where are you going to go? Every time I said what I really wanted to do, it was met with raised eyebrows and what I call the sniff of disdain. Like like that is it. So I wanted to get married in the Lake District. Now I have always been a southern girl, but I used to have a family house up in the Lake District. It's where my heart's home is. So I wanted to go home to get married. And I was told it would be too far for certain members of the family to travel. And so I scrapped those plans and I got married near a home. I still made them travel. I made them travel just another county away, though. Just
good on you. Good on you.
And then, so I still kind of got a little bit of a dig in there, but like a minimal. But what the really big one that sticks in my head now, which is really relevant to you and I talking, is that I wanted to get married wearing a white jumpsuit and a little top hat. Now, don't judge about the top hat.
Okay, all right.
Because I think I was watching a lot of early Pink videos and she might have worn one in that. So I kind of I lose the top hat from the story a bit, but I really wanted to wear a jumpsuit. And I was told by a close family member that if I wore one, I would look like a lesbian. Now,
no,
I think lesbians are the most classy. Like they've got the best. They've got just like the best dress sense, basically. Wonderful people. I love gay weddings, and there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian. Okay, but apparently I couldn't look like a lesbian on my wedding day, so I had to wear a dress because I was a girl, and that's what girls did. So you know what I did? I didn't wear my jumpsuit. I didn't wear my top hat. I didn't get married in the Lake District. I got married in a big fluffy princess dress with about 10 layers of tulle, and it was about as hot out as it is today. So I'm bloody roasted.
Absolutely.
And I kind of, it sticks in my head, and it really, really wound me up. And even now, 16 years on, 17 years on, however long it is, 16 years, I'm still really knocked off. I'm like, why couldn't I do this? Why couldn't I get married how I wanted? Why is it someone else's opinion that matters over and above my own? And so when I qualified, I decided that I wanted to help couples create the day that they want and to help them keep other people's opinions at arm's length. Because the last thing that you want to do is look back on your wedding day and have regrets or kind of like, you know, bits that you weren't happy with, that you feel you compromised on. Like, compromise is a big thing for me. I compromised on a lot of stuff. Other things I still did despite getting the raised eyebrows. So I had like I had a round top table. Now, like now, that's not even thought about, is it? Like, do you want a long top table, a round top table? It doesn't matter. You just do it. At the time, you had a long top table. That's the way you did it. I didn't want that. I don't like people watching me when I eat. So I had a round top table, so I couldn't see everybody. I could just see the people that were in front of me. So I did get certain elements in, but other things I compromised on that wound me up. So it's a really massive cornerstone of my business, is the fact that the motto is your day, your way, no compromises. And that is why I did what I did when I qualified, and why I do what I do, is because I don't want other people to look back and feel like things could have been better because they had the choice and they went a different way because of someone else's opinion.
That is a great answer. And by extension of that, then, how much of that feeling that you had from 16, 17 years ago do you use when, because of course we all have family members. I'm in the process of planning a wedding as well, and all family members, or a lot of family members, have opinions. So how do you deal with that then as the planner, and what advice do you give to your bride and grooms?
So as a planner, I say use me as the middle person. So if anyone's got any questions on what they're designing and creating, and the couples don't feel that confident about actually giving over their thoughts, I'll say, give these people my details and I'll have a chat with them, and I'll basically talk them down, and I'll say it's nothing to do with you, really, in the nicest possible way. I'll try and maybe find ways that they can get involved instead, like helping out, but I basically say use me because I'm not emotionally attached to these people. For me, it doesn't matter if I knock them off a little bit because it's not my family. But as a couple, and someone who's been there as well, I know how difficult it is to have someone give you their views and their opinions, and then for you to actually go and do your own way anyway. It does take a buttload of confidence. And now these days, I've got enough confidence for everybody. I'm afraid I'm a little bit of a, you know, I've come out of my shell quite a lot in the last few years. But I just kind of say, if you're not confident, I can even give you the words if you want. If you want to go back to them yourselves, I'll give you some diplomatic answers. I'll also give you some rude answers if you want rude answers, but I'll give you diplomatic responses that you can kind of trot out, and it takes the attention away. And the big thing, like one of the things that I like to do is I put them on an information diet. Now, I like this phrase.
Okay, go for it.
In the group that I'm in. So basically, you really limit what you say out loud about your wedding. You just don't give the information. If someone asks how planning is going, you say it's great. Did you see the match last night? Have you watched the last bit of Schitt's Creek yet? Have you got into like This Is Us? You divert. And that way you're not feeling like you have to elaborate and say, yeah, I picked my dress last week and it's black. And then they go, so, okay. You kind of, you divert the attention away, and you just really limit what you say out loud. But there has to be an agreement that you have amongst yourselves, really, as to what you guys are happy with saying, what you guys would rather not say, and then we'll put the process in place that you have the confidence to stick with what it is that you want to be telling people.
Brilliant answer. So obviously now, you know, and I'm not going to sort of hang on the fact that you've done this for quite some time now, but you have. So what does and you'll have seen lots and lots of different types of weddings, maybe nearly every type of the wedding ceremony and all elements in between. What's a challenge to you then now in your industry, because you've seen so much over 16 years? What does and a positive challenge as well, what does that look like?
I was thinking about this when you sort of were saying what we were going to be chatting about. I was thinking about the response about trends that we see. Now, the wedding industry is quite led by trends. You know, what's the colour of the year, the Pantone colour of the year? What outfits are we looking to be wearing? What does the decor look like? What your flowers look like? I was thinking, you know what? On the back of the 2 years challenges that we've just had, some wonderful stuff has actually come on the back of it. Now, micro weddings, they weren't talked about until COVID came in, and all of a sudden they became like the phrase of the day, wasn't it? It's like micro weddings, because actually we can get married. And it doesn't matter if we can only have 15 or 30 or 40 people. We can actually get married, and that is so important. People want to get the ring on the finger. They want to have the official paperwork, and to know that they've really ticked off that big goal of theirs. They've cemented their relationship. So on the back of the challenge of COVID, we've had micro weddings become actually part of the norm now, which is lovely. I actually did a wedding yesterday, a micro wedding of 40 people. And we had it was a registrar-led ceremony, and the whole thing all in took just under 2 hours.
Wow.
And when I was chatting to the couple, so the couple did their registrar meeting together, usually do, one and then the other one. They did it together. They walked down the aisle together, and chatting to them afterwards, they said the question they were getting asked a lot was, what do we wear? And the theme was, or the idea was, imagine you're going to a barbecue at a family member's house on a summer's day. And that's Brilliant. What people rocked up like. And it was so relaxed and it was beautiful. And I said, you know what? I want more micro weddings because I think
right.
Whoa, so,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love it.
And how do you then keep up to date with them trends as a wedding planner? Is it a case of you just go and visit other people's weddings, you go to wedding fairs, you obviously study a lot. How do you keep up with trends? How do you know, or do you know what's coming up next year, what that sort of ceremony is going to look like then?
I look into it, but for me, because of the way that I work with my couples and the ethos of my business is I say you have to do things your way. It doesn't matter if it's trendy or not. If you're happy, we're going to do it. One of the big trends that is actually out is to be individual, and that works in my favor. So that's a huge one. Over and above, this is what your colors are going to be like. Rust colors and things are expected to come in, more tassels and more detail on dresses. All that sort of stuff is absolutely beautiful and I love it. But the biggest trend that I see for people is they're just happy to be themselves, and that is an amazing thing to come in. It's beautiful.
So, what my regular viewers to the kind of the Feathers and Florence lives and some of the other things that we do, my favorite question is, if an email lands on your desk tomorrow and you look at that email and you go, do you know what, that's absolutely perfect for me. I can use every tool that I've got in my armory. What does that couple look like to you? And I'm not saying you only want to do them, but what does it look like?
So for me, the one that really makes me squeal and yell and run about my little space is if someone says they want to get married and they want to do a glass house wedding, conservatory wedding, orangery wedding, however we're going to say it. Glass house weddings. Oh my God, they are so versatile. They're beautiful. And the light, I'm absolutely obsessed with lighting. It's really funny. But I just think as soon as you walk into a glass house, the light that comes in is gorgeous. So for me, like my absolute number one that I want to tick off. So if anyone's watching this, okay, I've got it in the back of their head, they want to do this. All right, it's get married at Kew Gardens. I swear to God, I would do that for free. Because that is literally like the pinnacle of what I want to be doing. So glass house weddings really hold my heart for many, many reasons, but I love the versatility of them and the lighting as well.
I mean that we've got a couple of venues local to us, and I mean it is the in thing at the minute. I think it's going to continue that way, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful way of doing it. So you tell us a little bit more kind of about the range of services that you then offer, because I'm almost sure, and maybe I'm putting words into your mouth, that there are couples that maybe have already got quite a bit planned, but they need help with certain elements of their wedding. So do you do the whole range of sort of planning?
I do. I streamlined it a little bit. So there's two set services that I do now, one of which is full wedding planning. So you've got an idea in your head and you've got no idea where to start. You start with me, basically. And then I'll hold your hand through the whole process. I don't take over. I just take on all the stress. So it's me that ends up with all the piles of paperwork and whatever. And you guys are just coasting. I give you the choices. You say to me, I want to wear such and such an outfit, and I'll give you like 5 suppliers in the local area that are in your budget, which is a really important one for me, in your budget, and have what it is that you want, and I give them to you, and you go, well, I want to visit 1, 2, 3. I'll set up the appointments for you. Same with the flowers. I know what my flowers want to look like, but I don't know where to go with it. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna, these guys are available on the date that you've picked. They can do the style that you want. These are their prices, and they're within your budget as well. Which ones do you want to meet up with? So full planning for me is really exciting and really, it's great to see like a little germ of an idea come all the way through to the big day itself. And you go, bang, there it is. And they walk in the room, they go, oh my God, it's exactly how I wanted it to be, and then some. So yeah, full planning for me is like the big one. When you think of a wedding planner, that's sort of what you think of, isn't it? It's like somebody that's going to do the whole process with you. I also do on the day coordination. So if you've got everything ready, but you don't want to hold a clipboard on your wedding day, because let's face it, that doesn't go with any outfit, whatever it is you pick.
Absolutely
no
not.
Clipboards. Then I do that for you. So a month before, you give me all of the paperwork that you've got. So all your contracts, your supplier details, any timelines you've created, all that sort of stuff. I say, right, okay, thank you very much. I've got my folder. Put your feet up for the next month, coast it down. And then I take over all the stuff leading up to it for the month. And then I'm there on the day as well to put it all together. So you actually get a month and a day out of me for on the day coordination. It's just pretty, I'd say that's a pretty good deal, really. And then there's two other things, right, which I've not really talked about publicly before. So kind of like I'm sneaking these in here.
Right, go for it, go for it.
I wrote them down as well, so I didn't deviate because I get a little bit overexcited and I can say all the words. So one of them is called the Emerald Sessions, which is also known as the one-day wedding planner. So what we do is we have an intensive day of you and me at a beautiful venue, and we sit together on a one-to-one basis and we plan your wedding in a day. So I send you away with the strategy for how to make it all work. I'll give you details of suppliers. I'll give you details of venues. I'll give you like a mood board, all of that sort of stuff. I put all of that together for you. So we do like a whole, like basically plan it all in a day, which is really fun. And you can do that right at the start when you don't quite know where to start. And I go, all right, then here we go. There's your path. Off you go on your path. We can do it in the middle if you've got a little bit scrambled, because everything is so massively overwhelming, isn't it, with weddings? So we can do it in the middle and we'll get you untangled and going back down where you need to be going. We could do it right at the last minute where you want to check that what you've got is going to work and you haven't missed anything out. And then again, I say, X, Y, Z. How about a plan B and a plan C? And, we sort it all out. So that's the Emerald Sessions, which are awesome. I love those. They're like a VIP day for my VIPs. And then the other thing, go on. No.
I want to hear more. I've got loads of questions, so go for it.
So the Emerald Sessions is awesome, and I've got to talk about it more because it's so exciting. And the other thing is I'm releasing a course at the end of the summer where I will give you all of my knowledge. Okay, so everything that I've learned in the last 12 years, I've spent 4 years putting together a course, and it gives you step by step 8 steps to plan your wedding. And you can do this in as short a time as you want or as long a time as you want. So that's coming out at the end of the summer as well. It's called Overwhelmed to Oh Yeah.
Overwhelmed to Oh Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. There will be, I mean, we're based in the sunny north of the country. You're based in the more sunnier south of the country. There will be brides and grooms watching this, I'm sure, whether it's now or on playback. They're saying, well, Liam, I'm in Glasgow. I can't get a trip down to the south. I've never been further south than Hastings. How but I want to speak to Beckie. What does that look like then? I'm assuming you're flexible in terms of Zoom and all that as well for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Zoom, StreamYard, as we're using today. Look, I'm quite competent on StreamYard today. Even though I'm using a phone, it seemed to want to work. So yeah, we can do all of this on a Zoom call. We do it at your leisure. My diary is online and you can see where the spots are taken and where there's availability. You just get into my diary and you set something up. We'll do a Zoom call, a phone call. If you're nearby and you're in Bedford, Milton Keynes, Cambridge, Hertfordshire, London area, we'll meet up and we'll do this face to face. But yeah, I'm flexible for actually working with people. I travel all over the UK and I've got contacts in Portugal as well, in the Algarve. I've got a couple of really good contacts over there, so we can put stuff together overseas as well. But it will start like this, with a Zoom call or a face-to-face or a phone call.
An important question: where did the name come from? Not your name. I'm assuming it came from your mum and dad. But where did the business name come from?
So I rebranded last year. It used to be called Badass Weddings, but I felt that I lost my way a little bit, and I love the name. It makes me smile even now. It's such a cool name, but I just felt like it wasn't quite giving off the right vibe for what I was trying to do. So when I was rebranding, the coach that I use, Nikki James, she said to me, what does your perfect wedding look like? Just like you asked me. And I described it to her, and she said, well, think about all the different elements in that and bring something of that into the name. And for me, it was the colours that came to mind, especially. So when I think of Kew Gardens, I think of all the lovely rich foliage. Yeah. So I went with emerald because of emerald green, orchids because they're my mum's favourite flowers. And I want to make up a little bit for the fact that she knows that the story about not doing what I want to do is about her. So I've got like a little bit in there as well. And then, yeah, that's it. That's where I come from. So it's all about the foliage and the colours, and it's the glass house feel, really, that it came from.
Love that story. Love that. Where can people go then to find more about you? Because I know you're very active on social media, but where people watching this, where can they go and go, actually, do you know what? I just want to see a bit more of what Beckie's doing.
Yeah, so I literally am all over. I've got Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest, all under Emerald Orchid Weddings. You can search for me on the website, which is emeraldorchidweddings.co.uk, or you can DM me on my personal Facebook. I don't mind at all. Or generally, if you just search up my name, a lot of stuff comes up about me because I blog a lot and I do a lot of things like this. So yeah, just hit my name up in the Google and you'll soon find me.
You were saying to me off air that this is your last weekend that you're going to be spending at home until September. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're going to have to. I hope you're being looked after and eating well. It sounds like you're going to have a very busy summer.
I get looked after both here at home, which is amazing. My husband works from home, so he looks after the boy a lot when I'm not here. Although he's pulling faces at me out the window, that's super helpful. But my son's 12 and a half now, so you know what kids are like at that age. They just want to be plugged into something electrical, and they don't really mind if the parents are around or not. He doesn't miss me too much, but when I'm here, Paul looks after me, and then when I go on site as well, my couples are just legends. All of them feed me, water me, and look after me, and end up thinking this isn't work. I can't believe that I get paid to do this. This is too much fun.
What's been your whilst you I'm sure all of your weddings that you've had a part of are fantastic because it's all about love and people being together. But have you got one that sticks in the mind that you go, do you know what? That's something that I'll remember forever.
God, wow, there's so many. I think the Italian wedding that I did last summer, because that's the first big get together that we had after COVID, and it was right on the cusp of when the restrictions went up. I think it was like about a week after or 4 days after. And oh my God, the party, the food, it was awesome. It sticks in my mind as well because we had a couple of things go drastically wrong at the start, like the decorator went AWOL and things. So I had to pull my plan B out of my pocket, which is where someone like me comes in because my Filofax have plan B's and C's.
Yeah.
But once we actually got all the CAC sorted, it was such a fun day, and I love the culture as well. The Italians put on a hell of a do. So that to me, that still makes me smile now thinking about that one. That was lovely.
Brilliant. Honestly, brilliant. Well, I know you are ultra busy. You've got loads of stuff to be going on with. I just genuinely want to say really thank you so much for spending just a half an hour with us. And yeah, we love having people just like you who are so knowledgeable about the industry coming on and telling us all sorts about how to get the most out of your wedding, some top tips, etc., etc. What I would say to anybody who's watching is, if you're thinking, do you know what, I'm now engaged or I'm planning a wedding and I just don't know where to start or I need a little bit of help, please get in touch with Beckie. You can look back a couple of minutes and all her contact details are on there. But please genuinely get in touch because I know Beckie, you'll be all over it, won't you? You'll be all over it.
Yeah. I honestly, even like on days like today when the sun's cracking the stones and I've got a big pile of paper, as soon as an email or a message comes in, I'm like, bing, straight out again. So yeah.
Right. And what are you doing for the rest of the day? Last question. What's the rest of the day bringing you?
Without sounding too rude, I'm roasting in proper clothing. So I'm going to remove the proper clothing, go back in the garden and chill a little bit with my notebook because I've been writing content thanks to what you have given to me earlier on today.
Well, if I'm good for anything, I'm good for content, Beckie. There we go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Beckie. Thanks to everybody for watching. As always, we play a little video to play us out and have a wonderful day. We'll be back next week at the same time. I can't remember who's coming on next week. But anyway, whatever it may be, same time, 2 o'clock next week. See everybody soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Today, you are holding the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, as you promise to love each other forever. These are the hands that will love you. These are the hands that will hold you and comfort you through the years. These are the hands that will give you encouragement and support. These are the hands that you will each work with, create with, and use to build your life together. Congratulations, you're now married. You may kiss.